everybody, and welcome to the Weatherboys podcast. I am Derek Kevra. That is Alan Longstreet. Together we make up the Weatherboys, and this is our podcast. Thanks so much for listening.
Hey, man. What's up with you? How you doing? How you feeling? You ready to be here? How have you been? How was your weekend?
I did not want to start this way, and I know what you're...
What way did you not want to start?
This way.
What way?
Because I know what you're going to do.
What am I going to do? I'm asking you how you are. How have you been? How things have been over the weekend days before, days after?
Good. Things are good.
Great. Cool.
Things are great.
Anything you want to share with class or no?
You were talking about what happened earlier today?
What?
Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, my gosh, yes. No, that's not what I was talking about, but yeah.
Wait,
are you feeling lighter now? Are you feeling better?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you feel...
Look, I don't
do you feel
think-
like you have a connection with a guest at Fox 2 that not many people have?
I don't think an individual should have to feel bad about normal bodily functions.
No, I agree. I actually was not
Okay.
going to bring this story up, but the fact that you brought it up means that we have to now explain this a little
That's
bit.
what you were going to do. I was like, he's going to make me talk about this.
No, I was not going to. I actually think it's filthy, and I don't want to say the words out loud. I don't want to tell the people that you did a poop in a secret bathroom at Fox 2 that actually isn't secret.
Oh,
and when
Lord
you opened
Almighty.
the door to leave, there was a guest, a poor, sweet guest, waiting for you that you had to come face to face with.
Okay.
And then they had to enter that bathroom because it's a unisex bathroom.
Yep.
And it's a she, and that poor woman.
Let me explain from my point of view, would you?
Okay, I guess.
So early, we get here very early in the morning.
Uh-huh.
And there's nobody here early in the morning.
Sure,
It's
yeah.
just us. It's
Ghost
just
town.
the people that work at Fox 2.
Yep.
There is, and this is going to sound, it already sounds bad when I'm saying it. There's a guest bathroom at Fox 2.
For the guests.
For the guests.
now, are you
area.
an employee or are you a guest?
This is a private bathroom.
Right. As all bathrooms are in the building.
No. But what I mean is some bathrooms are like stalls and
Sure.
urinals. This is a private bathroom.
Yeah.
And so we work early in the morning, and I prefer when it's early in the morning to use that bathroom.
Okay.
There's nobody's here.
When his voice goes high, you know something's going on. Yep.
Nobody's here, and so I use that bathroom. Now today was a very strange day because despite the fact that it was early in the morning, we had a live guest that joined us for the
Sure.
news, which
Yep.
often happens.
Right.
It's just not at that time.
Right.
There's usually nobody here at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I exited the restroom after doing what you do in a restroom,
Sure.
which again, I'm not going to apologize for.
You shouldn't. No.
Because we try to teach our kids.
we should applaud this, actually. I'm happy. I am proud of you.
But it was one of those moments where I exited. I opened the door, la-di-da, feeling better. Open the door, and there's a person standing right there.
Ooh.
And I'm like,
Yeah, and I can do this is the last. I don't want to belabor this point because this is icky. And Derek, you're a sweet, handsome boy, and we don't want to tarnish that. But
no.
he told me this story, and I giggle like a schoolgirl anytime Derek feels uncomfortable. It brings me so much joy. And so I immediately walked down to that hallway to see the guests. And as I opened the door to that hallway, not the bathroom, the hallway, an overwhelming smell of potpourri mixed with some unmentionables poured out. So it was
needless to say, I didn't leave the weather office for the remainder of the day until that guest finished their segment and left because I was so embarrassed.
So, ma'am, I hope you're listening.
Oh, God almighty. And then Alan, he couldn't let it go. So he, as any best friend would do, he was like, I'm going to go bring the guest into the weather office. I'm going to tell them that I'm going to give them a private tour of Fox 2, and we're just going to bump into you at every crevice in the building. And I was like, no, please. I've already bumped into
Every
them
crevice.
at the worst spot.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We kid because we love.
Yeah. What did you think I was going to say?
I don't know. Just I didn't know what you were going to say. I had no idea. I was curious what you were going to bring up from your life over the past several days. That's kind of a fun thing for me.
Yeah.
Who knows what sort of thing Derek's going to say?
There's been a lot that's happened.
There's been some stuff. There's been a lot.
There's been some stuff. Yeah. There was. Are you talking about the scare? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay. You just weren't sure if I wanted to talk about it.
I didn't know if you. Yeah, I genuinely was being respectful, but I was also being giggly.
That's kind of you.
Yes.
So this is we go from a very silly
story to an actual good one.
Yeah, this is a very silly dumb story to like a serious that's kind of serious story. But
I'll still make it dumb though.
We should talk about it because I do believe that as men we need to take we need to take care of our bodies and our health. It is up to us to do so.
Sure.
So what happened?
Even when nothing is wrong.
Nothing was wrong, which was good. But it was scary. So what happened this weekend was this. I did a lot of yard work in the yard. A lot of people do that this time of the year. And Saturday, I worked Saturday night. I got to work, and my upper a left shoulder, like my back shoulder,
Sure.
was incredibly sore. Like not like working out a good sore, like
Right. Yeah.
like pinpointed pain,
It's not good.
sore. And I was like, well, that's fine, but it hurts. Like I couldn't sit down. It hurt so bad. I couldn't find a way to get comfortable. And then that pain traveled from my back to directly over my heart. It was right over my chest.
Sure.
And I was noticing that the pain was really bad. I couldn't get a good breath because I couldn't inhale deeply.
Yes.
And so I was starting to get short of breath. I called my mom, who was a nurse for years. She's since retired, but she said, first off, you can't really finish a sentence because you're so out of breath. But second, we always lived by a mantra in the hospital: you never mess around with chest pain. So I didn't mess around with it. I went to the hospital. They hooked me up to an EKG machine. That was fine. They said the heart looks good. They did a scan to make sure there was no like blood clot or embolism within the heart-lung area. That was good. So the doctor came in and he said, hey, I don't know what it is, but I know what it's not. I know it's not an emergency. I know it's not something serious. So I think the best course of action is let you go home, take it easy, rest, and make sure things don't get worse. So it was good. I mean,
Yeah, and you're good. Great.
the annoying part for Alan was I was working that night.
That was a Saturday night. And I get a message, and it's like, I got a call from Derek's having chest pains, going to the ER. Can any of you do the weather tonight? And like
that does sound bad.
I'm like, what a
that does
dick,
sound bad.
what a jerk.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. Why does he have to do that on a day where I'm going to be the one to fill in?
Yeah, you can't have a heart attack.
Yeah.
And make me work.
Pick your time better. No, but the honest truth is no, because Derek is not one, for as much as I give you guff about everything, you're not, like, you would have the heart attack before you go. It's a good thing you win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's not a guy, like, if it came from sober-minded Derek, I'm like, oh my, I was scared.
Yeah.
I was scared, and then I got annoyed, because, like, if he is hurt, I'm going to have to do the schedule. And I don't want to have to do the schedule ever. But no, there were some moments of, like, genuine, like, oh my gosh, and I really did have, like, I was really, honestly, you know, your brain goes to the bad places.
Sure, yeah.
And I was like, I like my other coworkers, but my work is going to be empty.
Yeah. Aw.
My work is going to be a sadder place. And so, yeah, he's making the hearts with the hearts. It's a beautiful thing. And so, glad you're good, especially because now we can make fun of you for that one time where you overreacted, you little Sally.
Well, that was the thing. As my manager drove me to the hospital, and I said, I'm going to feel real dumb if this is nothing. And she said, no, you're not.
Shouldn't. Yeah,
she said,
I know.
no, you're not.
No.
You're not going to feel dumb because we take things serious that need to be taken serious.
Yes.
And so thankfully, everything's fine.
Yes.
Just likely just a muscle thing.
Yeah, stop being so buff. I mean, come on, man. Those rippling muscles are just, gosh.
The doctor was like, we're going to need you to take your shirt off. And I was like, no problem.
No problem. Ladies gather around. Men too.
To be
whatever.
Embarrassed about.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And speaking of big buff muscles.
Here we go.
Here we are. That is literally the first thing that I noticed about this man. And I will not forget the first time. Do you remember? He remembers. Keyon Clinton. Do you know the name? If not, you should. He's a speaker. He's a coach. He's a Detroit guy. He's somebody whose whole message is built around the idea that small daily improvements can completely change your life. We've talked discipline, purpose, faith, masculinity, failure, and whether becoming 1% better is actually enough in a world obsessed with overnight success. Keyon Clinton. Hey, man.
How you doing, good brother?
Real good. How are you?
Amazing, man. It's good to see you all. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
This is a delight.
He wasn't kidding, Keyon. I do see big buff muscles. I see
when
him.
you can see the big buff muscles through the suit that he's wearing, that's when you know. And I knew, like, I don't know, was that 10 years ago?
Yeah.
It was a long
Close
time
to it,
ago.
absolutely.
Yeah, you came in with Desi Johnson, and you guys, it was a fitness thing. So I knew you initially through fitness. That's where you were. Is that where you, obviously you're doing it for yourself. Is that the world you're still moving in today?
We have evolved into completely different things, you know, speaking, traveling all over the world. It's been about 14 countries, 30 different states since we first encountered.
Yes.
And then we've also transitioned into the senior space. So we're doing some amazing work with our lovely seniors in this in the city and beyond in Michigan as well.
And how do you describe your work? 1% better. Like, I mean, you by your nature, since I've known you, you've felt motivational.
Yes, sir.
Like, I mean, what is the work that you do?
So it really stems between personal and professional development. That is really what 1% better is. I tell people all the time, you have to become the person before you build the product. And if you are the person, it don't matter what you're doing. If you're the person that can sustain, if you're the person that's successful, if you're the person that's going to stay consistent and disciplined, the industry doesn't matter. or the endeavor doesn't matter. As long as you are staying consistent in your personal growth and your professional development, that is what 1% better looks like in any industry.
So is this life coaching or motivational speaking? What is
Absolutely.
the business then?
For sure. So here's what we do. We teach people how to execute at a high level through three things: structure, systems, and strategies. That's it. Structure, systems, and strategies. If you create structure, you have a foundation. If you have a foundation, you can create systems. And the engineer in me understands systems that can automate things for you. And then you just develop a strategy so that you can grow and scale. This is what we do as a company. We do it with the youth, we do it with the seniors, and we did it in fitness where we first met, but now we're just taking it to a bigger level.
And that is, you're proving your point, because when I first met you, it was 1% better.
Absolutely.
And that, maybe, did you have other ideas then? Because then it was fitness when we talked about it.
Yeah, in that time frame when we met, it's still 1% better. It was just, that was the season we were in. The pandemic happened. I went out to the field. I said, hey, listen, I'm tired of people dying. I'm tired of people getting obese.
Yeah.
I said, so I'm going to come to the field every morning at 11 o'clock. I did it 2 days. There was 12 people. By day 7, there was 12,000 people on my live. And it just engulfed me. And we built an entire movement from it. That was not the goal, but my mentor taught me a gym 7 years ago. He said, sell what you do well. And when you got 12,000 people looking to join you in something, and then I said, hey, just pay me $10. And they were paying me $10 every few weeks, and we took off with it.
Well,
go ahead.
You're tapping into a thing that is universal amongst people.
Yes.
We all want to be better. We want to be a better version of ourselves. We want to be better dads. We want to be better friends. We want to be better husbands.
Absolutely.
And so 1% better, the great thing about that is it's compounding interest, isn't it?
That's it.
Because if you're always getting 1% better, that is the actual data shows it's getting a lot better.
Absolutely. Over time, 1% better is an intentional growth mindset. And I tell people, if you continue to chisel away every single day, at some point the sculpture will make sense. If you put one piece of the puzzle together, eventually all of the pieces will come together. But the issue is we try to go from 1 to 100. Mm-hmm. And it's like, we can't physically do that. 1% today can be 80% for you. Tomorrow it can be 40%. But if it's your 1%, that's good enough for that compound interest to make sense at the end of the day.
Okay, you happy campers. Let's push back. How about those? We like the overnight success because we like it. It's like a little, I don't know, dopamine hit. Is it? We hear that word a lot. Yeah. It gets us jazzed, right? We want the big muscles overnight. We want whatever it is we want, and we want it now. The problem with 1%, I mean, it's not a problem. It's the way to do it. I mean, however, the trouble, I guess maybe I'm speaking for myself, is that like it can feel boring because you can't always see 1%, even though it is more powerful. So how do you work with those folks to like see the truth of the message?
You know what I tell folks who say, well, why only 1%? I say it's impossible to get to wherever you're going without taking that first step. It's very impossible. So what you learned is the concept, other than just thinking about the interval, the concept of progression. All progress is good progress. Here's the truth. What you get fast, you can lose fast. But what you get efficiently, you can always stay strategic about how you exponentially grow that thing. So that's always been my pushback for people to say, I do love the overnight success.
Sure.
Yeah, but, fast things can also crash fast too. If there's not a strategy of sustainability with it.
And so often what we view as an overnight success, we don't see the behind the scenes work.
That's it.
I mean, they are probably working at 1% better every day.
Absolutely.
We just seem to see the beginning and the end. Okay, so let me ask you, when you're working with people, what are the building blocks? What are the most important things to work on first?
Absolutely. First thing is personal development. Personal development. I have been building this empire for the last 10 years of my life on personal development. We get so caught up in chasing all the external things, the financial freedom, the stability in your career, your industry success. It's great. Even when you think about the gym, muscles don't come after day one in the gym. You have to be the person for it. Personal development, the internal work. Do you have a mindset of someone that is successful? Because there's going to be times where you're going to work hard and not see anything growing. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that nothing is happening just because you don't see it on the surface. The roots grow first. And if you understand the concept of the tree, and before you can get the fruit, the roots have to be extremely planted in the soil. And that's the concept. It's personal development is all of the things people cannot see. And then we can see the fruit from the greatness and who you are. But even for the overnight success, most of them been working 10, 20 years, and then they finally got their break, and that's when you get the fruit.
So how is it you've become who you are? Because you'd say mindset, and that's, I mean, this is something that I imagine, you haven't been this way always, have you? Have you?
Absolutely not. Absolutely. I come from 48205. Everyone know one of the worst zip codes in the United States of America, top 10 to be exact. And when you are...
And what do you mean by worse?
In terms of drugs, in terms of education, in terms of the criminal activity and things of that nature.
It's one of the places where someone who doesn't live there says that you came from there, you're not going to get out of there.
I've been told that by a lot of people.
Okay.
And when I look at my life now, what I've learned is there's some things that I've learned in that environment that has allowed me to thrive in other environments. I've learned how to be troubleshooting. You know, as an engineer, it's called troubleshooting. But when you live in an environment with that much intensity, like that much intensity, you learn how to troubleshoot quickly because you go without a lot. When you live in poverty, you have to figure out where we're going to get this next meal from. How do we make money to be able to sustain throughout the week? You know, things like that. So the troubleshooting. And then when you grow up in an environment where things are coming at you fast, you grow up fast. So I learned to mature a lot faster. So when I got to college and there were kids who were complaining about the fact that they didn't have $10,000 to go to the mall, I was like, that is not a real problem.
Right, sure.
I'm trying to change the trajectory of my family's lineage. So, but I had that mental fortitude and tenacious mentality that allowed me to thrive in other situations because of where I'm from.
I can see them complaining that they have a 9 o'clock class.
Yeah.
And you're like,
speaking from experience.
Not a
Right.
Say that's luxury.
So
here.
what were some of the things that, because we see I mean, you're probably not a finished product. You never will be, right? We're always working towards something. But what were some of the struggles? What were some of the times when you thought, like, did you always know that you would be who you are?
No, sir. You know, I tell people my story all the time. Very unorthodox. At 9 years old, I started selling drugs, unfortunately. And when you start from...
Like at 9 years old?
9 years old.
Derek, you got is one of yours 9 years old?
Yeah,
You're about 9.
Yeah, my daughter, yeah.
9 years old.
Yeah, cousin put some substances in my book bag and said, take it up the street. And that's been my life because who's going to check a 9-year-old's book bag, right?
Sure.
So that was what I inherited. And then mindset I had, when you come from poverty, you have a certain mentality. That's why my book, Healing the Living Dead, habits that shift you from a morgue mentality to a Forbes mentality. Yeah, I was physically alive, but mentally and morally dead. I didn't grow up with goals. For me, I kid you not, you know, in elementary school, they ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? I had someone say a doctor, had a classmate say a lawyer, and I think one said an engineer. You know what I said? 18.
Yeah.
And my teacher wrote my mother a note like, I don't know what he's experiencing at home, but I can only imagine that this is very traumatic because where I'm from, we didn't make it to 18. So my whole thought process was, I'm not going to make it past 18 anyway. So I might as well take what I want, do what I want, be however I want to be. No responsibilities. But then after 18, every day after that for me, it was like, it's a blessing. And then I realized there's more to life than just 18.
So wait, did it really change when you turned 18? So from 9 to 18, it was live fast. That was it. Do whatever you wanted.
Yep.
And then
I went to Michigan State University.
Wow.
That's when my entire life shifted. My first time leaving the east side of Detroit was to go to Michigan State University. I didn't know Michigan was bigger than my four walls. I didn't leave the east side of Detroit until I went to Michigan State. So the drive up was like, wow.
Now applying to a college is, you got some hoops to jump through.
Yeah.
Like, there's some folks that won't get even that far. How did you get that far? Electrical engineering, obviously you have a brain.
Yeah.
You got some smarts there.
Always been book smart and street smart. And I graduated with a 3.9 GPA, and I just never thought I was smart. As crazy as that may seem.
3.9 and you never, okay.
I was like, if you just listen to what the teacher is saying, it should come to you.
Sure.
That was my mentality, but nobody ever told me, like, no, you're really smart. I just had a brain that figured, that capture things. I also got photographic memory as well. That's helped me get through engineering school.
Yeah, that's dude. I took one engineering class, hardest thing in the world. I feel like that class, you sit down, they say, okay, here's a lemon drop, a penny, and some glue. Get to the moon. And these people can do it. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Keyon's already there.
He's already, right. He didn't even need the lemon drop. Yeah. He didn't even need it.
Yeah, I've always been really, really good with my hands, and I've always loved numbers. So when I didn't want to go to college, I didn't see it. So I came home. It was senior skip day. So we have senior skip days where all the seniors pick a location where they're going to skip. And I left my ID at home. My mother worked 3 jobs. So we never really saw our mother growing up because she worked 3 jobs.
Yeah.
On senior skip day, I left my ID. I tell everybody, hey, go to the location. I'll meet y'all there. I'm going to just stop by and get my ID. I walk up on my block and see my mother's car in the driveway. Jeez, why is she home?
Now,
okay,
right? Time, yeah.
I break in my room window, get my ID.
Troubleshooting.
Troubleshooting. I'm telling you, it's a beautiful concept. And then I opened the door. And as I opened the door, I heard my mother on the phone crying. My mother don't know this story. I heard her crying. I don't know who she was talking to, but she was saying, I'm tired. My kids aren't listening. I'm fed up. And they're either going to die or they're going to go end up in jail. And I'm ready to just end it all. And it was in that moment where I was just like, now, is she saying she need a break or she's ready to check out of life? So that was my first gut punch. It was like, your decisions are hurting the people that you care the most about. Now, you would think that would have gotten me on the right path.
Sure.
Yeah, you would have. You didn't go to senior skip day. You left the wallet at home.
Right.
You turned it around.
I went to senior skip day and had a good time.
Had a real good time.
Yeah, but that was a moment where it started to resonate. Like, hey, the decisions you make are bigger than just you. It's affecting the people that care about you the most.
So why is that a concept that people seem to struggle with?
Yeah.
Because I suspect that you work with a lot of people where you feel resistance.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear it. They don't want better.
Yeah.
I'm great already. Mm-hmm. Why are people so resistant to self-reflection?
Yeah, because what happens is I think the greatest invention that man has ever made is the mirror. You look in the mirror, it's going to show you all the ugly parts about you. It's going to show you your truth. No matter what mask we can put on a suit, we can put on the nice glasses and get groomed up and have a good time and put our representative out there. But when you look in the mirror, it challenges who you are at the core. And I think that is where a lot of people haven't done the internal work. They haven't done the healing. They haven't forgiven themselves. That's why I focus on personal development first, becoming the person. Fall in love with you first, and it will be easier to give the love to everybody else. And that's why people give a lot of resistance, because you have to hold yourself accountable, and that sometimes can be the hardest thing for us to do.
How did you forgive yourself? How did you fall in love with yourself?
I'm going to be honest with you, Alan. It's been 7 years that every single day of my life, I wake up and go to the mirror.
Yeah.
Every day, and I tell myself, Keyon, you're a king. You deserve this lifestyle. Nothing is by chance. There's no luck. God has positioned you for this. Don't let anybody tell you you're not worthy. And for 7 years, the first year I didn't believe nothing I said. Can you imagine how crazy you have to look going to a mirror and forcing yourself to believe you are worthy? Because nobody ever did that to me. So that first year, I had to literally shift what I actually believed about myself. So with any clients that come to me, the very first thing I do, I challenge their beliefs. Because if I can challenge your beliefs, then I can shift your perspective, and then I can add value.
Now, you mean to say that you literally went to the mirror
Every
and you
day.
said, did you have a mantra that you said, or did you have a general theme?
Man, I just went to the mirror and looked at myself. The first few days was like, I'm not happy with what I see. That's how I became a bodybuilder.
Yeah, okay.
I looked in the mirror and was like, ugh. You know how disgusting you have to be with yourself to say, ooh. Like, it was like, oh my God, this is, oh, geez.
Yeah.
And it was like, that wasn't like go to the gym. That was acceptance. It was like, you do not like where you are. And the fact that I could accept it, then I can make a plan that I can sustain. A lot of people are making plans to cover up, but you got to accept it first. And that's what I did for a year straight. I accepted that I did not like the life I was living and the person I was, and I put together a plan, and it's been beautiful.
Now, you said a word here, and then you said a word before we started recording, but how does religion and faith play into your message?
It's everything. You know, listen, without God, I am a man of faith. I tell people all the time, if you want to become everything you was created to be, you have to understand that there's a higher power that created you for that. And when you tap into it, it's revelation. It's revelation. You know, the truth of the matter is, I tell people all the time, my God is not an intellectual conversation. It's pure revelation, divine revelation. There's some things I've experienced that I just can't explain. Because I used to ask God, if you are who they say you are, show me for myself. And what he revealed to me, I couldn't sleep for a week. And I was like, okay, God, I trust you. I'm going to follow this thing over my life. And again, I don't push my beliefs on people, but I will educate you on what I believe. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I don't have to hit you over the head with a Bible.
Right.
But if you look at my behaviors and outcomes and you aspire to have what I have to let you know about the goodness of the God that I serve. And that's what has allowed me to allow others to have a spiritual development alongside their personal development.
How do you determine, probably unanswerable, how do you determine what you were created to be? I mean, we got all, especially now, we have options. You could look up anything on YouTube.
Absolutely. You know, here's the thing about your gift.
Yeah.
Two things. Number one, from the side, we all know is that your gift is something that comes to you naturally, right? It's something you're going to be really, really good at, even if you have to train yourself in it, because a gift is a muscle.
Sure.
You have to grow it. But the other side of your gift is it comes from a place of the thing that frustrates you the most. When you really look at why you do what you do, there is a side of it. There's a pain point. So there's a main point of your gift, and then there's a pain point of your gift. That is the pain point. That's like speaking and pouring life into people. It's my gift is to speak and influence and change lives. But it frustrates me when I meet people who are so dope, who are so talented, who are so mighty and powerful, but they shrink. It's like, why are you shrinking with this gift inside of you? Because you don't have the confidence and the courage to speak.
Yeah.
So that's a frustrating pain point for me. That's how I know it's a part of my gift and not just the main point.
Is that a control thing? Like you want to be able to control it. You want to say, I see this in you. I want to control I want to help you get to this point that I think you should be at.
So no to your answer.
Okay.
That's where the ego comes into play.
Yeah.
You can't control what people do.
We're getting all
I had to,
Freudian and everything.
You know, like I had to learn. And I tell people, hey, let me be honest with you as your coach. I don't have your best interest at heart. You do. A coach's job is to guide. Let me guide you for where you want to go. Let me help polish you up for the thing you told me you want to do. So I ask clarifying questions. I ask converting questions. And I ask questions not to say, hey, let me tell you what I think you should do. Because again, using your voice may never be on a microphone. It may never be on a big stage. You may never travel 17 countries, 35 states. You may never do that. But what you will do is be a spokesperson in your relationship. You will be the voice for your children. So again, but it's all about where you want to go. I tell people all the time, it's not my job. I can't walk in your shoes. And the moment I realize you don't want that for you, there's another coach that you're going to.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, it's no different than a nutritionist or a fitness trainer, because you can tell them how to do it, but you can't do it for them. You can tell them that spinach is healthy for you, put it in that smoothie, but you can't force them to drink the smoothie.
When I was training, I would tell all my clients, there's a concept, it's called the other 23. The other 23, I'm with you for 1 hour. We're going to train hard, we're going to work hard, I'm going to push you past your limitations. But the other 23 hours, that's on you. And if you don't focus on the other 23, this hour won't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I think it's clear to those listening that this is a motivator. But Derek, and you'll appreciate this, I listened to one of your talks. I think it was on your website.
Yeah.
He gave a talk to high school students. We give talks sometimes, weather stuff, and it's a tough crowd. It can be
Especially
a tough crowd.
high school.
Dude, by the end of this, like a 7-minute talk, he had them standing up. He had them reciting a mantra with him. I've been impressed by you for many reasons since I've known you. This was Mount Everest, my man. Because high school students.
We go to high school career days, and they give us 30 minutes.
For sure.
We give like a 10-minute conversation, and then we say, let's open it up to questions.
Say crickets, huh?
Oh, yeah. You don't accept crickets, though. You don't accept it, and then they comply, man. It's a beautiful thing. It's a gift.
Questions. The quickest way to find a solution is to ask a question. The quickest way to find a solution is ask a question. I got my billionaire mentor. You know how? I asked 3 questions in the middle of an event. At the end of the event, no one else said anything. Now, there's millionaires. There's all type of people in this room. I asked 3 questions.
Yeah.
Had no idea who he was, but I was just intrigued by his topic. I asked 3 questions. He said, I like you, young man. Gave me his phone number. He called me. I called him. We talked. He said, have you ever been to Florida? Been there a couple times. He said, you ever flew on a private jet? Sir, I don't even know what private jets are, okay? But again, so he flew me out, private jet, and as I'm learning, I'm like, wow. And for the last 5-6 years of my life, I've been getting poured into by someone who I aspire to be like. But I ask questions. So I tell the youth, hey, don't be too cool for school.
Right.
You have some giants in front of you, some guys who've done things you want to do. But don't be too cool for school, because again, at some point we were you. We were the cool kids. We were the one in high school thinking, I'm not trying to hear what y'all talking about.
Right.
Till you realize, I say, hey, pay attention to your parents. They're struggling. They're hurting right now, and you can change that. So.
Yeah, you talk about billionaires, you talk about money, you talk about the empire.
Yeah.
I grew up in church, and I feel like churches, there's all kinds of churches.
For sure.
There's all kinds of different strains of it. And it's weird. Now I'm thinking about it.
Strains as if it's like a disease.
Yeah. Well, hey, they can be. Hey, they can be. Look, but you have like the prosperity gospel, but then you also have this other. I think in the church that I grew up in, it was more like they were afraid of wealth and prosperity, and it was more like shame on. Like it was like on the one hand, like God is, Jesus is there, God is good, but also don't want too much.
Yeah. Yeah,
don't want too much, because the meek shall inherit the earth.
Yeah,
Alan lives his life by it's harder for a rich man to get into heaven than it is for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. So, and I understand that, because when you see so much going on with Instagram now, and the way church is being marketed, and the way Jesus and the way God is being marketed, to where you can make money, you can leverage, and all of these things. I tell people there's a reason why there's an Old Testament and New Testament. When you think New Testament, that's the prosperity. Jesus come and he's more forgiving.
Sure.
But don't forget to read the Old Testament.
No.
Where God's wrath.
Dude, when I open that up, I'm terrified. I gotta shut it.
You know what I say?
Yeah.
I thank God for Jesus.
Right.
I thank God for Jesus, because Jesus was human. He had a heart for us. He had a connectivity piece. God is so divinely the master of orchestration, right? So in that space, but I do get it to where it's like, and I'll give y'all this, because this changed my life even back when I was troubleshooting. At 9 years old, I became an entrepreneur. Okay.
Yeah.
My cousin, he taught me something, and although he introduced me to that lifestyle, he taught me a gym that changed my life. He said, Keyon, if you are the only person eating and everybody else around you is starving, you become food. And that lesson taught me to be a man of the people, to take care of those who are around me. Even when I'm winning, if we are a team, there's no way I'm an MVP on a losing team.
Sure.
I don't feel comfortable there. So that is how I live the way I do. My team, I pay them more than other people get paid. I put them in positions to win. Like, I'm the one they can come to say, hey, let me help you figure this out.
And every time you come on, you are, I think it was last Thanksgiving, you were giving food. I think just the other week you had a suit giveaway for the young kings, I believe.
We just gave 5 young kings a tailor suit.
Yeah.
And their parents, thank you so much. I'm like, listen, I always wish somebody did this for me. So,
and that's kind of how life has evolved for you, because now you are in the world of helping people. You've got kids, you're helping kids, you're helping seniors. Yes. Take us through that.
Absolutely. So 3 years ago, I get done speaking in front of 40,000 people. I'm getting ready to go FaceTime my mom and let her know her baby boy made it. Big time now.
Yeah.
All right. As soon as I get in the tunnel, God said, go take care of the seniors. And I'm like, okay. So within 3 short years, we have acquired 90 plus senior buildings, and we provide all type of work, wellness, massage therapy, all the way up to education. I mean, we teach them digital literacy, telehealth literacy. We also have a home care agency now, to where we are literally providing them with caregivers so that they can live and age gracefully. And again, last year we gave hundreds and hundreds of laptops away. We got a contract right now with Verizon. Apple just created our app. So we are literally creating an ecosystem so that seniors can age gracefully, but they can also be included. They can have access that they need. And more importantly, we're making them feel young again. Every month we have expos. They have so much fun.
Did you ever think that life would lead you there?
Not at all. I'm now known as Detroit's favorite grandson. and I never looked at it that way, because again, I'm like, I didn't grow up with this, sitting next to grandmother, sitting next to grandfather. I didn't. This is why you have to be in tune with God, but also paying attention to where life is taking you. I believe everything happens for your next season of your life, for your next step. And this shift has allowed me to gain a different sense of purpose in what I was doing, but I'm still speaking. I'm still helping people. I'm still doing who I am at the core. That's why you have to become the person before you build a product. And that is allowing me to, even in a senior space, take them to a completely different level.
All right, I got another dumb question. Yeah. God said, go take care of the seniors. You just said, be in tune with God. Yeah. We have a million thoughts every day. How do you separate the data from the noise?
That's good. So there's 90,000 thoughts running through your head on average a day. Out of that 90,000, 75% of them are negative.
Yeah.
And they're on repeat. So you have to, here's how I tell my clients, listen, there are negative thoughts that's going to come into your place. Whenever you get a negative thought, replace it with 3 positive thoughts. You got to learn how to fight the negative thoughts back and forth. Then the thoughts that don't make sense, because there's thoughts that come to our mind like,
sure, yeah.
intrusive.
Yeah, right, yeah, right.
But when you are in tune, when God is literally watching you walk the path, there's a conviction there. There's a discernment there. It's like, wait, why can't I leave this thought alone? Why does it's a burning desire. It's something that's like, I didn't know I would have interest being around kids. I never wanted to work with the youth growing up. I never wanted to. But every time I got around them, I started to see myself in them. I started to see like, oh, if I had a Keyon at 14, what would have done? This kid here got a 3.8 GPA, but he don't have anybody guiding him too. So when you have that thought that becomes a burning desire and that discernment inside of you, that's when you know, let me act on this. And it'll show you if it's meant for you or not.
Sure, I was going to say, we're all fallible. Surely there's mistakes made, and then you learn and you grow and you discern. Yeah, okay, there we go. I always want perfection. I always want the overnight success, but the failure is the story. That's the point.
So can I give you
Yes,
give you some perspective?
Please.
You never fail. You have failed attempts.
Yeah.
And when you understand that, you never fail. You have failed attempt. Because with a failed attempt, you've learned something. There's a lesson to be taught, and then there's experience. Without experience, from exposure, you will never learn and you'll never grow. So it's a failed attempt, not an actual becoming a failure in that space.
Yeah. Our relationship with failures, it's got to be shifted.
It has to be.
It can be exhausting though, right? So how do you continue the path while not burning out?
Yeah, that's a great question. Passion, like when you do what you're passionate about, it's always a trump card. If I'm being honest, most people are not doing what they absolutely want in life. They're doing what they can. They're doing what's necessary. They're doing, hey, I got to work this job.
Yeah, that mortgage is due every month.
It's due every month, no matter what. I got this big dream, but at the end of the day, I got to work this job. And it's like, well, jobs will forever be there. But when you factor in family, when you factor in children, when you factor in all these other, I get it. But when you get in a place where you're like, I'm doing what I want to do, what I love to do, that passion allows you to keep going. Yeah.
We had a talker on the show today that I'm still thinking about, but the question was, do you have to love your job? Because there's this idea online now, because for a while it's always, hey, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But there's also an idea of like, hey, you're not always going to love your job.
That's true.
So in your opinion, do you need to love your job?
Yes, you do, for sustainability. In terms of fulfillment, you can hate something, and most people hate their job now, but it pays the bills.
Right.
But then you wake up and you're 40, 50, 60, and now you resent your whole life.
Interesting.
So when you love what you do, being paid or not, there's a difference between an award and a reward, right? Award has come from man. It's what man give you. It's what we recognize you with. But the reward is going home at night and feeling at peace. I've helped somebody today. I did a good deed today. This is kingdom work today. Like I go and work with the seniors. I thank God we're in a position where we're fine from the business end. But we do so much work that we'll never get paid for. But I'm so at peace with it.
Sure.
Because it's the reward of this is what I love. I love helping people. Whether it's seniors, whether it's homeless, whether it's we feeding 1,200 people for Thanksgiving. I just love doing that work.
So Keyon, are you saying that do what you love and trust that it will reward you in the end,
if you're good at it.
But that is hard. That is very hard for people to do because you might have a job where you're like, I don't love this.
Yeah.
Okay, this isn't what I feel like I was born to do.
Yeah.
But I do have enough money to pay the bills, to pay for my house, to pay for my car, to pay for my insurance, to take maybe a vacation or two every year. And I've saved a little money for my kids' college. I guess I'll just suck it up and keep doing it.
And if we can be honest, there's a lot of people in the world, majority of the world is living in that cycle.
Well, right. And I guess you could argue that that's not the worst thing.
Absolutely not. It's all perspective. I tell people, listen, I don't condemn what I don't condone. Whatever you feel is working for you, for sure. I just live by good is not good enough. Great is just a little bit better than good. Being phenomenal is people noticing you from what you've done in this world. But when you become elite, you'll never be forgotten. My mindset is different.
I want to run through that wall.
Arguing.
I want to run through that wall. Because, like,
You're going to have another heart pain if you do that. Another muscle thing.
I mean, it is, when you say it, it's inspiring.
Yeah.
It makes me want to change.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking maybe in 2 days I'll forget it.
Yeah.
So how do you keep going?
Listen, we don't stop. 1% better every single day. For the last 137 days, we have our 1% better community calls from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. every day. It's totally free. From 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., totally free. We don't charge you nothing. Come get poured into, because, again, life comes at you every day. It don't matter if you're a good person. It don't matter if you got great intentions.
Yeah.
Life is going to hit you regardless.
I heard someone describe humans as like leaky buckets, right? You go ahead, fill up one day, but you're going to need to do it again the next day. I mean, that's why, I assume that's why you had the year-long looking in the mirror, or 7-year-long.
Absolutely.
Positive affirmations, Derek. 70,000 negative thoughts, DK.
Yeah.
And here's the reality of it is, it's just like your phone. It's just like your phone. You can be busy and disconnected. You can be busy and disconnected. Right now, I'm not connected to the source, which means I can still function. I can still go on apps. I can text. I can get on my websites. I can go on Instagram. I can do all of those things. I'm busy. I'm functioning. But
And
at
the
some
battery's
point,
draining.
because I am not connected, that battery will drain. And what do? We charge up. That's how we have to be every single day. Who do you have around? What ecosystem? Your space. You have to one, stop negotiating with your weakness. That's number one. You have to stop negotiating with your weakness. Number two, you have to stay spiritually covered in the line. Number three, you have to eliminate those energy leaks. I don't surround myself with anyone or anything that drains me from what I'm supposed to be doing. If I came to y'all today and told y'all about a big vision and y'all response was, that's what's up, I'll probably never tell you another vision of mine. Because what I'm building doesn't no. I need you to believe that this is possible. I want to be around people. That's an amazing idea. When you're going to do it? Is there any way I can help you? So when you're in an environment that's conducive to your growth, then it's easier to say, I can actually become this. I can actually build this thing. I can actually do this thing. And that's why it's important to make sure not only you're doing it for yourself, but the people you have around.
We're building a meaningful life.
Yes.
To you, I think it looks different to everybody, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
What does a meaningful life look like to you? What does Keyon want?
Freedom across the board. Spiritual freedom, emotional freedom, financial freedom, freedom to do what I am called and created to do. Freedom to really put other people in positions to win, because I believe success for me, it's not about how much money I'm gonna make. It's not about how high I'm gonna climb my success ladder. It's about how many people have I been able to impact and plant a seed to grow, to move, because it looks different for everybody. But if I'm in a position, I think the encounter with me, it's kind of hard to encounter Keyon and leave the same. I just believe, and I take pride in that. But that's what meaningful looks like for me.
You really do want the world to be a better place.
Absolutely. And I believe that it's possible. And I know there's so many people, you can't change the world. Yeah, but if you start with 1%.
Yeah, but you don't seem like an over striver. Like you seem like it would be surprised. Like I feel like you can relax. Can you relax? Right?
Absolutely.
Can you seem like an actual healthy go-getter? What? Who are you, Angel? What is this? Yeah, you seem.
Yeah.
Clear. I'm extremely clear. It's not my job to save the world. Jesus already did that.
Yeah.
Took my cape off years ago. Okay. I don't have the Superman syndrome anymore. I gotta save the world,
but you had it. There was a point you had.
I wanted to. When you come from poverty, you want to be, especially when you're the one that's kind of like the black sheep, the example, the one who made it out. You're just like, let me. Then you realize the turtle and the giraffe, they both have different perspectives. The turtle never complains. It still get fed. It takes its time to move. And when the giraffe is hungry, it eats from the top of the trees. I look at everything about perspective. There's a reason why the giraffe can't dunk his head down for too long to talk to the turtle, because of the 9-pound heart. It'll faint. Mm-hmm. If you learn how to focus on whatever it is you want to do and you get clear there, this is my piece of the puzzle. It's my job to do whatever I can. I have a gift that's going to reach the masses. I understand that. But not everybody. But I don't need to, because we got gentlemen like you all who have a platform that can, I'm just clear on that.
Well, okay, so tell our listeners, what are 3 things they can do right now?
The very first thing you can do, as I always tell people, as a man of God, tap into your spiritual source. Like, literally sit with God. Don't ask for anything. learn to feel his presence. Learn to feel something bigger than you, stronger than you, greater than you. That's the very first thing I will always give them as a man of faith. First thing, because sometimes we go to God with a laundry list of things. God, heal me, deliver me, give me money. It's like, and you left before he would even tell you yes. Now you're mad at God. He's like, well, I never said yes to your list. But if you just sit with him and learn his presence, because intimacy will create clarity in your life. That's the first thing. The second thing, find out who you are and who you want to become. I created a list 5 years ago. And I said, this is who I want to be in the next 5 years. I didn't think about my current position. I didn't think about where I was. I didn't think about how much money I had at the time. I said, 5 years, clean slate. What do I want to be? What type of man do I want to be? What do I actually want? And what I realized was, at the end of the day, I just want people to say Keyon Clinton was a good man. He was a good, respectable man. That's the second thing. And then the third thing, listen, realize you only get one life. You only get one life. You don't die and pop up in another body. This is not Grand Theft Auto. Let me be clear. You only get one. You have to treat your life as if you are the most valuable asset you will ever own. And when you act in that manner, there's nothing more greater than you. There's nothing more greater than the way you can treat yourself. Because when you are filled up, you get the pour. You get overflow. And when it's overflow, it's spill in everybody else's life. But you have to realize you only get one life. Take the risk. Take your leap of faith. Write the book. Start the podcast. Move. Jobs will be here forever. I'm an engineer. If all else fail, Alan, I can go get a $90,000 engineering job right now. No problem. And I know that's not even me. Because if all else failed, I'm going to build this empire back again, right? Yeah. But with that one life that I have, when I die, I'm dying empty. I'm dying empty. I'm pouring everything that I have out of me. And that is what keeps me going. That's why I can give love to anybody and not worry about what I get in return.
So when you become a reverend, I can't wait to listen to your sermons.
Yeah.
So
because I want to not only run through this wall, I'm gonna go quit my job. I'm gonna go do everything that's on my. You are such an inspiring individual, Keyon.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
How can people find more about you? Where can they go?
Absolutely, you can Google me, all social media sites. Keyon Clinton, Keyon, Clinton, Clinton. Just Google my name or type in 1% Better. We'll pop up. If there's anything you need, if you want to get on a daily call, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., we would love to have you. It's totally free, but I want everybody to become 1% better.
We can do it. 1% better. It's manageable.
Yep.
It's a very manageable number. Keyon Clinton, thank you so much, man.
Thank you, man.
Fantastic. And thank you for listening to the Weatherboys podcast. Of course, you can always listen to all of our content on YouTube, on Spotify, and on the Fox Local app, where if you scroll down, there's a big picture of the Weatherboys. Click on that, and you can watch and view all of our stuff. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.